guys, welcome to my Ocean One channel. And last night I did a video asking my viewers things that they would like to see. And one of the things that got brought up by a couple posters was, what settings work the best for me. And that kind of got me thinking, okay, well, that'd make a great video. So I'm going to go over the settings that I keep our particular Ocean on, to get the fewest I don't know, what should I say, warnings. I don't want to say warnings in the sense, that I'm getting errors on the screen. But when you're driving, to get as few false alarms from the safety as possible. So that's what this video is about. Hope you enjoy it. All right, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to keep the car from beeping at you when you start it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and unlock it here. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to hop in. I'm going to put my key where I always put it. And then I'm going to start the car without my seatbelt on, okay? Okay, now if you notice there, you got beep, beep, beep. I think it was 4 if you counted. And that was because of that. So let's try it again. Let's turn the car off and try this again. Okay, I just locked it. Gonna walk back up. Open it. Put my keys where I showed you earlier. And now this time, what I'm going to do differently is I'm actually going to put my seat belt on. If I can get my hand around it here and hold the phone at the same time. Okay, now I got my seatbelt on. Now let's start it. Notice no beeps at all. Nothing, no beeping at all. So simply by putting your seatbelt on before you start the car, you can prevent that seatbelt beep at the beginning. All right, let's go through some other things. Now, something that I personally find annoying because I drive with the windows down all the time is I'm always turning this off. Always, okay? I have not found a way to get that to stay off. Every time I restart the car, it'll come on. So I personally find that annoying. I've not found a way around it. If any of you know of a way around that, let me know. So now, let's go into the settings here. And let's go to driving assistance. Let's go to safety. Actually, let's go to driving assistance first, because I actually had a person ask me about this. So let's go here, and they were asking me, how do you keep the speed limit audible off? And actually, I'd never turned this on, so my brain wasn't working right. And I actually reached out to a friend, and he reminded me of how this works under the FI Pilot. So if you go here and you look, under FI Pilot, and I have it on the recommended settings, when you exceed the speed limit, you just have a visual warning, okay? But he was complaining about an audio warning. So all you do is you can just turn that off, or you can just turn it off completely, okay? So I do leave it on the recommended settings, and I don't leave it on the visual and audio, because I know when I'm exceeding the speed limit. I don't need the car to tell me that. So I'll leave that one there. All right. And it says some settings will reset after each drive. I think that's mostly for Europe. From the conversations that I've had, most of the things that you set in America, they will actually stay that way. All right, let's go through some others. Okay, now I've left the driver assistance. Okay, I've left the FI Pilot, and I've gone to safety, and I'm holding the phone and operating this, so I'm not going to be as stable as I usually am. But let's go to front collision mitigation. I leave that on the recommended settings. I like for it to be late, I like for that to be on. Okay, so you can see all of this. Let's go back out. Let's go to the next one, the lane departure warning. Now, I always leave this off. You can see up here, I've turned it on just for the video. I don't have that off, but I always leave it off because I live on curvy roads. And I've never had a car that I've been able to leave that on. So I always just leave that off, okay? Now, if I'm driving on the interstate, or some people might call it the highway, I sometimes turn that on, okay? Depends on how far I'm driving, but sometimes I'll turn it on. But you can see over here, now I have the little warning light, and that's the way that I like to keep it, because on these rural roads, you just get too many false alarms, and you know, it's just the way that it is. So let's go out. Now let's go to blind spot detection, mitigation. Here's where I leave these settings. I have a custom setting. I leave it on medium, and I actually leave it on visual and audio. So if you go to the recommended settings, okay, it changes it just to visual. Now personally, I like the visual and the audio. That way if you're turning the blinker on, you'll get beep, 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 beep. You know, it'll let you know. I enjoy that, okay? I find that useful. Driver attention warning, I leave that on. I don't even know if that works because I've never had it go off, okay? And that's the little box there, so that may or may not be active. I've actually never had that go off at all. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe I'm just always paying attention, or maybe it simply doesn't work. The door opening warning. This, I just leave it on the visual. Now you can put it in the visual and the audio. And what will happen here is when you are parked, okay, and you are possibly getting ready to get out, it will put arrows up here. The arrows will come up and go up through there to let you know that a car is passing by. So I leave it on that. And then the traffic light assist, I leave mine like this. I have a custom setting because I do not like for it to let me know that I'm approaching a red light. I always leave that off. I do like to know when the light turns green, okay? So I leave that on, and when you leave that on and you come up to a red light, it'll have the light displayed up here. And what will happen is when the light turns green, I've done other videos with this, it'll go beep and just let you know, that way you can be sitting there having a conversation, maybe looking at your phone or something until the light turns green. And then, you know it's time to move on. So those are the personal settings that I keep the safety on. Okay, now let's leave the safety and let's go to driving. So here you don't have much of a choice, okay? You have the low and the medium and the high regenerative braking. And I plan on doing a detailed video over this, but right now, something that I don't like about the car is it always defaults to high. Now, I've gotten really adept at using high, but what you learn to do on high is you learn to modulate your brake. I'm going to put this down here. You modulate your slowing down ability with the accelerator. You rarely ever have to press the brake, okay? You only have to press the brake when you get down to 5 miles per hour. But when you first let off the accelerator or you stop your cruise, and let's say you're doing 70 miles an hour, you might be slowing down more than you want to. So what you actually do is you actually press the accelerator some, and that lessens the regen. And I don't think most people are used to doing that. And if you had it on medium or low, you wouldn't have to do that. But with it on high and it defaulting to high, you get pretty good at that very quickly. Just under the audio, I've changed it from driving to audio. One thing that you can do here is you can limit the sound to the driver or just the passenger, and I love that you can just do that with one button. So, if the kids are in the back trying to have a conversation, or they want to listen to the music and my wife and I are in the front and we're trying to have a conversation, you can change that around and you get a much deeper sound with that on. That's the setting that I leave that on. Now, I'm under connectivity here, and I'm not going to scroll up because it has our names on our phones. But I've had a lot of people ask me about the Wi-Fi hotspot. Personally, I've never used it. But it's my understanding that you cannot connect the car in any way to your Wi-Fi. But you can create a Wi-Fi hotspot with the car since it has its own data built in. So now let's go to display. And here's what I leave those on. I leave the theme on dark. I leave all that on automatic. And then down here, you do have a screen cleaning mode. So if you want to clean the screen, you can just press that, and you can see that it goes to this, and then you can press around on it to get out of that. Okay, all right, now let's go to lighting. Here's where I'll leave everything here. The exterior lamp at 30 seconds. Daytime running lights disabled. Interior lamp off. Ambient lighting on. That's just how I keep mine set up. And safety, we've already been to safety. Driver assistance, already been there. Doors and mirrors. I personally leave the auto fold off. I'm sure there are times that you will want that on. Now, we just came out of winter in Kentucky. I may end up turning that back on. And really, that's really about it as far as the settings that I use. So if you have any direct questions that you would like for me to answer, just let me know. And it's always useful to know that you can press that to go to the home screen, just to bring you back up to the home screen. So that's very useful. This, of course, you've got your digital rear view camera. Very nice. So if you have any questions on any of these settings, just let me know. One other thing I guess I'll throw in here that I've noticed, let me back this off just a little bit. I've noticed that when I have to set the cruise, the first time that I set the cruise, I almost always have to press that twice. Don't know why, but I have to press it twice. And that will turn the cruise on. And I almost always drive, I'm going to put this over here, okay? I almost always drive in earth mode because I'm just, I'm just kind of a lazy driver to begin with. And that's about it for this video. So I hope those settings help you. Hope you find that useful. And if you got any questions at all, just let me know. Alright guys, those are the settings that I use. I hope you found that tutorial helpful. If you got any questions, just let me know. Now, to be clear, I'm still operating on 1.11. I still do not have 2.0. I blame that one on myself because I messed up the install, and that's all on me. But I am trying to get 2.0. So, alright guys, until next time.